Whenever you see the pause symbol, it means that a question or maybe 2 or 3 questions are coming up that you need to do on the Google form. That form link was over in the chat if you're with me live. If you're not with me live and you're watching it through YouTube because you missed class, then it's up on Google Classroom. You only need to fill it out once. It sort of looks like this. It's got the book at the top. Hopefully by now you've put your last name in, you've put your first name in. Don't hit submit until we're done. Let's take a look at the presentation today. And remember to pause. I'll try to tell you when to pause anyway, but just in case you don't remember, you'll have to, or if I don't remember, you'll have to look for that. So let's take a look. Unit 1 is the first of 4 units this school year of English. It deals with the topic of change. Why don't you take a moment right now and write 2 sentences explaining what change means to you. Now this is that pause button. Press pause if you're not live, flip over there, and go fill out the first 2 questions. They are on the form. What is the theme of Unit 1? Write 2 good sentences about change in your life. What does it mean to you? Go do that now, and if you're on YouTube, you actually have to push pause yourself. Hopefully you've answered question 1 and 2, so I'm moving on. Our essential question is, why is change difficult but necessary to experience? How do people move past the changes that they have in life? Because we all go through them. We all go through changes, and everything that we read has to do with changes in our life. Now take a look here. Don't pause yet, but take a look. There are 3 types of changes that people experience. Emotional change, changes that affect your emotions. Physical change, a change in your body. And social change, a change in your social life or having your friends and relationships affected. Okay? Why don't you pause right now, fly over to the form, which to me it looks like question number 3 says, what are the 3 types of change? I'll even leave them on screen. Take a moment to go do that, and then we'll move on. Well, by now you should have answered question number 3. So why don't we move on? Let's talk about the whole class book. So throughout the school year, we read 1 novel per unit that every student has to read. Now, the first one of the year is called All Alone in the Universe. The actual cover is on the left. I'm circling it. So this week you will receive the first novel. It's a full class novel. We will read it sometimes in Google Meets, but you will also be assigned to read it on your own at home. If I haven't already shown you, I'm going to show you before this class leaves where you will find that book and what chapters you need to be on top of. Why don't you press, and our abbreviation for it is AAU, All Alone in the Universe. When we give you deadlines, you want to make sure you stay on top of them. But right now, why don't you pause the video and flip back over to the form and answer question 4, what's the name of the book? 5, what abbreviations do the teachers use? And 6, what are you expected to do with it? I'll wait just one moment, and if you're on YouTube, you really need to push pause. Okay, I hope by now you've answered question 1 through 6, so I'm going to keep going. All right, it says new vocabulary. Now, it does say with your table groups, but I'm actually going to skip that part. Here's what I want you to think about right now. There are 2 words that you need to learn. One is the word mature. The other one is the word alter. I'll pause the video, and you need to pause it if you're on YouTube, to flip over right now and tell me, what do you think, this is number 7, mature means? And 8, in your own words, what do you think alter means? And I'll pause for you to do that. And if you're on YouTube, you have to pause yourself. All right, let's take a look at what mature really means. By now, you should have answered 7 and 8. If not, I'm going to give it to you anyway. So mature means having or showing mental, that's your brain, emotional, that's also your brain, but like your heart, qualities of an adult. So when you are a child, you have temper tantrums. We all remember those. You can't handle being told no. And as you get older, you become more mature, which means you try to handle things more calmly and you think about things like an adult. So one of the goals throughout middle school and high school is to become more mature. You do not have to change your answer on the Google form if you got that wrong. It's you just do it and you get the credit. Alter. Let's take a look. Alter means to make different without changing into something else. So it means to change something, but only in a little bit. So as we grow up, our brains and our bodies alter and become more mature. So let's move on now. Those are 2 vocabs you need to know. Here's some novel information. You'll be shared an ebook or a PDF of the whole book. Plus, every week you will get parts of the audio file. Oh yes, I should tell you that. So you can read it on your own, but you will be given the audio where someone reads it to you. You will be given deadlines to make each week. I know that this week it's chapters 1 through 3, but you are allowed to read ahead if you choose. There will be different assignments, including quizzes on quizzes, quizzes on quizzes, Google Forms, and there will be a test at the end of the novel. Sometimes we read the novel during meets. Sometimes I'll have to give it to you for independent reading. We will finish this novel by October 30th. It takes about 5 weeks. Do not fall behind because there's quizzes throughout, but you also just don't want to fall behind because by October 30, we're planning on moving on to other things. So you need to make sure, and you can't believe it, October 30 is about a month. It's about 5 weeks, so give or take, that's just about right. Let's take a look at the form real quick here. Question number 9 and 10 ask you, when will we be finished, and are you allowed to read ahead? If you haven't already done that, let's end here. I'm going to say this time, I'm going to press pause, but you can go out now and finish like all 10 of those questions right now, and make sure that your Google form is ready. And when it is, push submit, and we'll continue with class. And if you're online, you're all online. If you're on YouTube, that'll sort of wrap it up.